Please don't feel pain for me. I know you will write about me, but I don't like anyone to pity me with those words." This is what the basketball star Jimmy Butler answered in vain to journalists and media professionals when they asked him about the most difficult periods of his life. A period when it was difficult for him to collect a few dollars to satisfy his hunger, and he was sleeping on the street after his mother kicked him out of the house. Jimmy Butler, who went from a homeless child to one of the most important basketball players in the world. What is his story when his mother kicked him out? How did he achieve that glory? Butler, the 32-year-old American basketball star, was born on the 14th of September 1989 in the state of Texas, who did not enjoy the same glory that he enjoys today in his childhood. The child Butler was not loved by his parents, especially his mother, who always told him that she could not bear to look at him and that he had to leave. A child who has hardly comprehended life yet is met with this amount of hatred and contempt for the people closest to him. Butler says that he grew up in the suburban town of Tomball, Houston, after his mother kicked him out of the house when he was 13. So he settled on the street, and on the street he slept for weeks without having a dollar in his pocket. To go through the first real test in life, by which he realizes that success consists in adapting to those circumstances to overcome them. Meanwhile, Jordan Leslie, a close friend of Butler, made serious attempts to help his homeless friend. In the end, he managed to convince his family to embrace Butler and move him to live in their house. The family, who had 7 children, did not mind doing that good. In fact, the family embraced Jimmy and made him live with them as if he was one of their sons. In the meantime, Butler completed his secondary education, and to return the favor to Jordan's family, he worked in the evening in a restaurant and gave his family a wage to help them bear the expenses. The dream of becoming a basketball player was accepted with mockery by his teachers and coaches in the school, as they saw him as a short and slow boy, and it was difficult for him to develop in that sport. And despite all these difficulties, Butler began to prove himself little by little until he got the sports scholarship at the Marquette University. After graduating in 2011, he joined the Professional Basketball League through his participation with the Chicago Bulls. However, he has not yet found the opportunity to prove himself, as he was a reserve in all matches and only participated in a few minutes. But all this changed when a player from the starting lineup was injured, forcing the coach to rely on Butler for several matches at the time, and this was the real breakthrough for him. So he was able to show his talents and prove himself in a big way, even winning the award for the best player of the season. He became the first player in his team's history to win that award. And by the end of the year, fate finally smiled at Butler when his team decided to renew with him for several additional seasons for $95 million. Yes, that's real. He's the same kid who made the most in his childhood, $10, is now a star earning millions of dollars. In 2017, Butler joined the Minnesota Timberwolves, and in the following season he joined the Philadelphia 76ers, until he finally moved to the Miami Heat in the 2019 and 2020 season. He is still a player in his ranks today. Today, Butler's salary is more than $34 million per year, and has become one of the most important basketball NBA stars in the world after winning the league title 3 times in 2015, 2018, and 2020. He was also the 2015 League Player of the Year. All these successes after a period were the most difficult in its history, but with more work, patience, and determination, he was able to come out of the darkness to the gates of glory.